Hello everyone. Today I will talk about the minimalist lifestyle subculture. I will explain how minimalism developed, important people who help shape it, what identifies the group, how minimalists create culture and use media, and how others can engage with this subculture. I will keep the explanation simple and easy to understand. So let's start with historical development. Minimalism's history begins in 1960s, but not as lifestyle at first. It started with art. In New York, artists like Donald Judd created very simple, geometric works. This was a reaction against the chaotic, highly emotional art of abstract expressionism. At the same time, minimalism was influenced by Zen philosophy from Japan, which values simplicity, calmness, and being mindful. Minimalism grew even more after the 2008 global financial crisis, when many people lost jobs and money. This caused people to think more about living simply and spending less. There are there are few uh, key figures in the minimalist lifestyle movement. We have Marie Kondo, is very known for her decluttering method. She encourages people to keep only items that spark joy. We have also the minimalists Joshua Field Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus, are authors, speakers, and filmmakers. They promote a simple life through their books, podcasts, and Netflix documentaries. We have also Fumio Sasaki, a minimalist writer, is famous for living with very few possessions and writing about how that improves mental well-being. Many minimalist thinkers also draw from design and architectures. There are also minimalist architects and designers who apply less is more in physical space, making minimalist design part of how people live. We have what makes the minimalist subculture uh, distinct. We have first intentional decision making. Minimalists don't just accumulate things, they make careful decisions about what they bring into their lives. We have also decluttering and minimal possessions. Uh, Minimalists regularly remove items they don't need, keeping only the essential or meaningful stuff. We have also anti-consumerism value. Minimalist questions the idea that buying more things equals happiness. We have also clean design and simplicity. Minimalist homes, clothes, and environment often follow minimalist aesthetics. Clean lines, neutral colors, and functionality. We have also sustainability and environmental concern. Many minimalists are concerned about waste, recycling, and environmental impact. Minimalism often aligns with eco-friendly values. We have also the cultural production and media engagement. Minimalism has created its own cultural products. Many books, podcasts, and blogs teach people how to live more simply. There are also popular documentaries on Netflix like Minimalism that help spread the movement worldwide. On platforms like Instagram and YouTube, people share minimalist homes, clothing, ideas, and daily routines. Minimalism also influences modern art and architecture, including tiny homes, clean interior design, and capsule wardrobes, where people own a small number of carefully chosen outfits. We have also where minimalists connect with each other in different places. First one is online communities and social media. Many minimalists joins Facebook groups, Instagram pages, YouTube channels, and blogs. This is one of the strongest way they build community. Second is workshops, seminars, and meets up. They also meet in a person through workshops, seminars, and tiny house gatherings. These events often focus on decluttering sustainable living. We have also zero waste and sustainability events. Zero waste makers and eco living fairs are common because minimalism and environmentalism often overlap. We have also minimalism has strongly influenced wider culture. More people are building or living in a tiny homes or smaller, more efficient living spaces. Second is sustainable consumer habits. They are growing interest in sustainable consumption, fewer, better quality items. We have also minimalism help start conversations about mental health, living with less clutter and reduce stress and improve clarity. We have also in design, minimalist ideas influence furniture, architecture, and product designs. Designers use clean lines, simple materials, and minimal mm, decoration. We're gonna talk about challenges and criticism. Even though minimalism is popular, it's not perfect. In some regions, some people argue that minimalism is a privileged lifestyle because not everyone can afford good quality items or to live in smaller, well designed spaces. It can become competitive. People compare who owns fewer things, which goes against the original idea of freedom. Uh, and also, some misunderstand it, thinking minimalism means living in a dull, empty spaces. And lastly, we have for families, especially with kids, minimalism can be hard. Children need toys, clothes, and items to learn with. Also, not everyone has the resources to declutter in a healthy way. We have also approaches to engaging with minimalists. First one is respect the values. Uh, Understand that minimalism is a value, not a phase or trend. Second is don't judge by possessions. Avoid criticizing how little or how much someone owns, and use shared values. Talk about sustainability, mental wellness, and intentional living. Those often align with minimalist ideas. We also reach them through the spaces, join minimalist online communities, or go to workshop and sustainability events. And lastly, encourage throughout consumptions. If you are working with this group, or for example, we are in community works or social works, support programs that help people make conscious buying decisions instead of mindless consumption. And conclusion and takeaways to wrap up, we have the minimalist lifestyle is more than just owning fewer things. It's a subculture built on values like intentional living, simplicity, and sustainability. We have also built on intentional living, not just having less. Minimalism has spread into designs, media, and wider debates about mental health and consumption. While it offers real benefits, it also faces criticism and practical limits. Understanding minimalism helps us appreciate different ways people choose to live and how we might support or learn from this lifestyle. And the last one is my references. And that's it. And thank you.